Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. Friends, I'm going to talk about Verve Therapeutics today. They come out with their Heart-2 trial update and future prospects. This video talks about it so that you can get an idea of why we saw Verve Therapeutics share go up today in the morning. And I had promised you at that time that I'll read the press release and get back to you with what I think about it. So that's what this video is all about. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Verve Therapeutics just announced very positive and encouraging data from its phase 1b Heart-2 clinical trial for VERVE-102, a breakthrough in the making for heterozygous familial hypercholesterolemia, or you call it as HEFH short form, which is a premature cardiovascular disease. What VERVE-102 is trying to do is basically to attempt a functional cure for HEFH, which is a genetic condition that causes chronically high level of LDL cholesterol due to faulty lipid clearing mechanism. Elevated LDL-C dramatically increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Instead of lifelong statins or PCSK9 injections, VERVE-102 is attempting a once-and-done gene editing treatment that could durably reduce LDL-C by permanently turning off the PCSK9 gene in the liver. The gene that impairs the liver's ability to clear LDL-C from the blood is the PCSK9 gene. By turning off that gene, this condition can be alleviated. The Heart-2 trial results consist of 3 dose cohorts. The test for VERVE-102 was done on 14 patients across 3 dose levels, 0.3, 0.45 and 0.6 mg per kilo. At 0.3 mg per kilo, the average LDL-C reduction was 21%. At 0.45 mg per kilo, LDL-C dropped by 41%. And at 0.6 mg per kilo, they saw a mean LDL-C reduction of 53%, with one participant reaching a 69% reduction, which is a powerful result from a single dose. Importantly, the treatment was well tolerated across all doses with no serious adverse events and no dose-limiting toxicities. This is crucial, especially for a gene editing therapy that does the gene editing inside the body. Now, VERVE-102 is a base editing therapy. It doesn't cut the DNA. It edits a single letter in the PCSK9 gene in liver cells, effectively switching it off. To deliver the base editor and guide RNA safely into the liver, Verve uses a proprietary GalNAc-LNP delivery system. The power of the GalNAc is that this lipid nanoparticle is coated with GalNAc sugars, which bind specifically to ASGPR receptor on the liver cells, acting like a precision-guided missile. It's also designed to be taken up via both the ASGPR and LDL receptor pathways, making it effective even in patients with genetically impaired LDL receptors, like those with HEFH. The delivery platform shows potentially best-in-class safety profile based on current trial data. Now, liver cells don't live forever. They turn over slowly over a period of time. This means that as edited cells die, they may be replaced by new unedited cells that still express the PCSK9 gene. So the durability of VERVE-102 depends on how many liver cells are successfully edited at the start. If enough cells are edited, LDL-C reduction could last many years, and in some patients, possibly for life. And if the initial editing was not as pervasive, then the effects would be a bit limited. And that's why Verve is testing higher dosages, and fortunately it's not causing any side effects and it's been proven quite safe. So the expectation is that we'll come to a stage where there's a very high level of gene editing in the liver, and potentially it could become a functional cure for many people. Then we have the Eli Lilly partnership opportunity, which is another important development because Verve has a collaboration agreement with Eli Lilly, and Lilly has the option to opt in later this year. If they do, they would share 33% of development costs and split US commercialization profits 50-50. This could greatly accelerate the therapy's path to market while reducing Verve's financial burden. And just like Vertex bought a lot of expertise in monetizing a therapy when it came to CRISPR, the same way Eli Lilly can bring their experience to bear in monetizing this therapy for Verve, and prove to be a very, very effective partner in enhancing Verve's efficiency as a therapeutic company. Now, looking ahead, FDA and monetization potential is what all of us retail investors are looking forward to. With strong early safety and efficacy data and FDA clearance already granted for US trials, Verve plans to begin a phase 2 trial in the second half of 2025. If durability holds up and regulatory milestones are met, this therapy could be a major step forward in cardiovascular disease management, offering patients a once-in-a-lifetime treatment and opening up massive market opportunities for Verve and its partners. Now, friends, I'd like to hark back to the video that I released just a few minutes ago before this video, in which I spoke about the promise of AI and genomics and the conundrum in which retail investors like us find ourselves, because there are so many opportunities. For example, this opportunity with Verve is phenomenal. And imagine the kind of market share that Verve will have and the revenues that it will generate if this therapy gets monetized. But the road from now until monetization is very long, and it is paved with a lot of uncertainties. And therefore, a retail investor is always thinking, what do I do? Do I invest now and wait for equity dilution and other risks that might come across the way? Or do I wait for the therapy to be monetized and then get into the field? So for every retail investor, it's a different answer. So you have to look at your own risk appetite. You have to look at your portfolio. How much of your portfolio can you allocate where if you can invest and forget about it, and if it just gets diluted, you don't care, then that kind of money can be put into these kind of opportunities. Because on the surface of it, of course, this looked like a very good therapy, but we are just in phase 2. We are going to start phase 2, and then to prove the durability, you're going to have a long period of time, right? Because we are talking about lifelong durability. So I would expect that at least you'd look for 3 or 4 years of durability in a large percentage of patients that were treated. And in phase 2B, you'd probably expect that you want to give a high enough dose to a large number of patients so that you have data that shows that a great percentage of the cells were edited, and that most of the patients who got those many cells edited were absolutely healthy until the end of the trial period, where FDA can come up and give a provisional approval saying that yes, it looks good for 4 years. So the labeling would probably be that this is a functional cure designed for throughout the life cure of this HeFH. However, the test so far has proved up to 4 years with potential for many more years, and the data is being collected, something to that effect, right? So it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, but definitely it's a very strong positive. And just like when market gets a new catalyst, there is always the initial euphoria, everybody running into it and buying the share, and the share price goes up only to come back down slowly over the next 2 or 3 months and then languish in the bottom until the next catalyst. So we should expect the same story to come around for Verve as well. So that's the story, my friends, about Verve's latest press release. And those of you who have been holding Verve for a while and who probably have an opportunity to make a profit today, you have many opportunities. One is to sell covered calls for a longer term with good margins, or you could sell Verve right now and wait for the price to fall and buy it back again at a lower price, and you can have either release your profits, or you could buy more shares and get at the same price. And those are the various options I can see. But of course, these are all my personal opinion and not financial advice. So please do your own due diligence, look at your portfolio and your personal goals, and then make your decisions. So apart from this, as I mentioned before, I'm a retail investor like yourself. I have given you my opinion. Now it's your turn to put in the comments your thoughts about Verve. I might have missed something, I might have misunderstood something, or I might not be aware of some other prospects for Verve. So it's your turn now to educate me in the comment section by letting me know if there is something I have missed. Thanks and have a great day, my friends. I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye for now.